go inside.
What did I tell you about you and your orders?
Okay, guys. Welcome back to my channel. It is I, Miata Lebele. We're gonna dive right into this because I just finished the show, and I have a lot of thoughts.
Oh, Lord. Again.
What I'm going to do is give you guys a couple warnings right off the bat, okay? I'm going to make some things very, very clear. Number one, if you don't like someone who cusses and talks about sex very frankly, see yourself to the door, bitch, okay? Getting them titties. Why did I say getting them titties? I just said it.
Why are you mad? Because my pussy pops severely and yours don't?
Number two, if you really, really, really loved this season, see yourself out. This is hard for me to say. This is really hard for me to say. If you guys watched my trailer react, you know that there's maybe not anyone more excited than me about this season of television. So if you did really, really love this season, I actually really do suggest you see yourself out. Just because I know what it's like to have someone trash something that I like a lot. So I don't want you guys to be sitting here and be like, oh, fuck, Miata's going in on this. And I don't want that for y'all. So if you really liked this season, if you really didn't see that there were some major glaring problems, or if you saw that there were problems but you enjoyed it nonetheless, I would see my way out. This very specifically is the take of a person who's not only a book lover, a reader of these books, and a person who really, really, really loves these books, but I'm also a person who, in particular, book 2 is my favorite. It's very funny that I'm saying all of this. I remember back in like 2005 when Pride and Prejudice 2005 came out, and a bunch of Pride and Prejudice lovers hated that movie. They're like, this is not true to the book. Wang, you little bitch. And now here I am. I am the little bitch now, okay? I am going to whine about this. So if you guys are just not in the mood for that type of shit, see your way out, okay? Because I want to talk a lot about my issues with the season. I'm just realizing I lost my crown. Where the fuck my crown go, bitch? Y'all watched me do that whole rant and my crown was off my head? Y'all fake friends. Y'all some fake people. Oh my God, my husband just brought out the alcohol that I asked him to buy me for watching the show. I started watching the show too early this morning, so drinking at 5 a.m. seemed wrong, but now it's 5 p.m. So yeah, it's happy hour. Let's do it, babe. So what I'm going to do is I am going to very quickly, you know me, I talk too much, talk about how I felt about the season. And I'm going to show you guys my reactions as I was watching the show, right? Like I had my camera on me, I would pause, rant at you guys for a little bit. Philip Crane is supposed to be like a 6'5" man with a huge dick. You know what I'm not getting? BDE. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I felt in the moment, stay tuned, that will come along. But if you guys are interested in hearing kind of, you know, my overall thoughts in the season, tune in right now. Okay. Every single person I have seen has prefaced their criticism of this season with saying the exact same thing. Every single person, and I completely understand why after seeing the season. Kate and Anthony are fantastic. Guys, Simone Ashley and Jonathan Bailey, so good. If you remember season 1, Jonathan Bailey smolders better than any actor I think I've seen on screen recently. Like, yes, reggae is super sexy, but Jonathan Bailey smolders. His eyes do a lot of work. He is so good at the pining and the yearning, which is why they cast him as Anthony. He's amazing at it. So he was extraordinary. Whenever he and Simone Ashley were on screen together, they were electric. They were so good together, which is why the season as a whole disappointed me, because honestly, I would say overall, if you guys could count it up, how many total minutes do you think Kate and Anthony had alone all season? Like out of I'm gonna say the season was about 10 hours of television because a lot of the episodes were over an hour, right? Or a lot of them were at an hour, over an hour. So I'm gonna say we got around 10 hours of television. Of the 10 hours of this TV show, how much of that time do you think was spent with Kate and Anthony just alone feeling their feelings and talking to each other? I'm gonna be generous and say 70 minutes total. Maybe. So maybe an hour 10 of 7 hours or of 10 hours that we got to see the romance do anything. That is fucked up. That's not enough fucking time. I'm sorry. This season was based on the Viscount Who Loved Me, right? It's based on book 2, which is all about Kate and Anthony. And not just Kate and Anthony, it's also Kate's family. This season, I am in shock. I am in shock at the disservice done to the Sharma family. I am like, I have a hard time understanding. And you guys who didn't read the books, again, like I said, I'm very sorry if you guys really loved this, because what I keep seeing people say is, guys, we should be happy for what we got. But you guys deserved more. We deserved more. First off, the book is, I haven't even had a drink. Let me get a drink. I'm thirsty. Yeah, that's good stuff. In the books, the Sheffield family, there's a Sheffield family in the book, the Sharma family's here. But Kate, Mary, and Edwina have one of the loveliest relationships I've ever seen in the book. I have seen some book readers complain about Edwina being too much of a Mary Sue. She's a little perfect. She is a little perfect. But normally I don't love perfect characters, but the thing about Edwina is she loves Kate so much. Kate loves her so much, and Mary loves them both so much. Why? What was happening where we didn't see Mary at all? Mary didn't speak. There was a few episodes. My husband came and joined me in episode 2. And then in episode 4, he went, does that woman never speak? And I was like, that's their mom. He hadn't seen her speak because she didn't speak in like episodes 3 or 4 or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, no lines. I think she got to speak again in episode 5. I have no idea where they pulled away from that relationship to add more Lady Danbury. Like, yes, we fucking love Lady Danbury. She's fucking badass. She's amazing. They took away from the relationship between the mother and her daughters. So she didn't really get to have her moments until the end of the season. Then the relationship between Kate and Edwina was... When Edwina says in episode, is it 6? We are half sisters. I gasped out loud. It's wonderful that Edwina was allowed to, I think they wanted to have a more independent Edwina. They wanted to have one who was fully formed human, who had her own thoughts and was independent and didn't like the way Kate was treating her. It didn't ring true for me because Kate, the only thing Kate ever did was sacrifice for her sister. Did her sister ask for it? No, but her sister also didn't choose to understand where any of the things in her life were coming from. Those were Kate's sacrifices. So for her to all of a sudden be like, didn't ring true. However, it's not Edwina's fault. It's not that actress's fault. It's the writer's fault for ever letting us get to a wedding. Anyways, I'm ranting at y'all about the relationship. So I think Kate and Anthony, we lost out a lot of that. The relationship in the Sharma family, ridiculous. The Featheringtons. The Featheringtons. What the fuck was that? If there was one criticism we all could agree on in the first season, it was that there was too much Featherington drama. A lot of people didn't agree on shit, but what we all, I think, agreed on is the Marina stuff went on for far too long, and the Featherington drama with the Marina and the Featherington papa and all of his gambling, all of that shit took away from what we wanted to see in the first season, which was more Simon and Daphne, right? For them to triple down in this season and take away from Kate and Anthony and keep showing us shit we don't care about. See, in the first season, you could almost forgive them for the Featherington stuff because they linked it to Colin and Marina, correct? In this season, their drama had nothing to do with the Bridgertons. So now we just had Featherington drama and we didn't ask for it. I'm very confused about what the writers are taking away from what we like and do not like about the show. It seems to me that they're learning all the wrong things. Like, I think maybe some people were like, oh my God, there was so much sex in the first season, tone it down. Either they were people who were not going to come back in the first place. They're certainly not romance readers. So let's just get into it. The sex. Guys, spoiler, one sex scene. There is one sex scene between Anthony and Kate. At the very, very end, we get to see them in bed together after they've already finished having sex. There's one sex scene. A lot of people are like, you don't need sex scenes. True. I actually don't need sex scenes for most things. However, I'm a romance reader because I do like the sexually explicit content in romance novels. Take away what romance readers also love. We don't just love the sex. No, but sex is a part of the intimacy. Particularly in historical romances, sex shows the intimacy between two characters coming together, usually after they've been wed. It's their wedding night. They're finally getting to taste each other and touch each other, and we're so excited for them. So to have taken away, if you guys do not know, if you've not read the books, basically what happens in the book, that moment where Kate gets bitten by the bee, Anthony tries to suck the venom out. They are caught by some mamas, and they have to be wed. Now, this is the same kind of trope that happened in season 1 where Daphne and Simon get caught, so I get why they wanted to change this for the TV show. However, that was a really important moment for a lot of us. So as a result of her getting stung and them getting caught, I would say Kate and Anthony spend the last third of the book already married. So we actually have plenty of sex and sexy moments between them. Anthony can't stop wanting her. He wants her all the time, and he doesn't want to want her because he doesn't want to fall in love with her. And you know why Anthony doesn't want to fall in love with her? Partly because he doesn't want to leave a widow behind, but also because they changed this. Anthony thinks that he is not going to live any longer than his father. His father was the most important person in Anthony's life. There's no one he revered more. There's no one he loved more. That was his everything. When his dad died, he knew in his heart of hearts that he was never going to live as long as his dad. There's deep PTSD with Kate, and there's deep PTSD with Anthony. I've alluded to that in a lot of my other reviews. They didn't touch on any of that shit in the show, so I'm going to give that to you guys right now. Anthony is afraid that he's not going to live past, I believe, the age of 38. His dad died around 38. I believe his uncle, his dad's brother, died around 34. So he believes that how could he live as long as his father when his father was the greatest man he had ever known? But for Anthony, he knows in his heart that he's going to die. Can you imagine if you're a person, you're like, I'm going to probably pass away in the next few years, so I should find a wife. I'm not going to fall in love with her because I don't want to leave her. It's not about me leaving this world, which is what they kind of focused on in this season. It's about Anthony doesn't want to leave her. He doesn't want to fall in love with Kate because he knows he's going to die one day, and he doesn't want to know the agony of loving and then loss again. Kate, on the other hand, when Kate was around 3 or 4 years old, her mother, her natural birth mother, got sick. And her natural birth mother died in the middle of a storm. And Kate saw her die in a really awful way. Her mother was gasping for air, choking on herself, basically, and she died. There was a moment of loud thunder cracking. It hit a tree, and the tree fell through the window. It's at the same time her mom died. It does storm. She actually goes catatonic. She panics. She can't breathe or think. Took that out because we needed more Featherington stuff. Took out Anthony's shit because we needed more Featherington stuff. I want you guys to understand the reason I'm upset is not because they changed things necessarily. The reason I'm upset is because they took away some of the depth of the characters in favor of showing us storylines that do not matter to us. That is why I'm upset. I'm upset because when I watched the teaser trailer, all of the scenes between Kate and Anthony that are in the teaser trailer are almost the sum total of all the scenes that Kate and Anthony are in the television show. I feel misled, partially, but I need you guys to understand my frustration does not come from, oh my God, they changed stuff. They changed stuff in the first season. And I was okay with that, mainly because I don't give a fuck about Daphne and I don't give a fuck about Simon. But I was okay with a lot of those changes. They didn't change the rape in season 1, but I was okay with a lot of the other changes in that season. But I say all of this just to say I'm not mad that they didn't necessarily stick immediately to all the things in the book. I'm mad that they took away all of the juicy, beautiful moments between characters. They took away character relationship building in favor of more plot. Can y'all see that I didn't shave my armpits? Not that bad. I'll just keep them down. Okay, we'll keep them down. I'm looking at my monitor. I'm gonna keep those armpits down. I'm mad that we should have had deeper relationship building between Kate and Anthony, deeper relationship building between Edwina, Kate, and Mary, deeper relationship building between almost every single one of the main characters, and we lost it in favor of all these subplots. We're learning more about Benedict, and then Eloise has got Theo, and then Penelope's in love with Colin, but then also the Queen wants to know who Lady Whistledown is, and although Lady Danbury's taking the place of Mary and having conversations with Kate that Kate should be having with Mary instead about her past. Did you guys notice we didn't even get a flashback to India? Now why the fuck did we not get an India flashback? Would that not have been glorious? I would have loved to have seen young Kate. We got a young Anthony flashback, but we never got a young Kate flashback. What the fuck was that about? Thought about it in the moment. I was like, oh, they'll get to it. They'll get to it. They'll show us who Kate was. But they didn't. Instead, we just got scene after scene of Cousin Jack, who I was kind of excited about at first because I thought, great. The Featheringtons have money now, we can leave this. Instead, they dug in deeper to that shit. So at the end of the day, what I do have to say is the one sex scene we got was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And if you loved that scene, if you loved the scene of them in bed at the very end, that is what you missed out on. Because that type of chemistry permeates the entirety of book 2. And you guys didn't get it. You got bits and pieces, and you think you're okay with that because that's what you got. And fine, maybe that's fine for you. But it's not fine for me because I knew what it could be. Reread the book recently, and I imagined every scene as Simone, Ashley, and Jonathan Bailey. And that's my mistake, because in my head, I knew where they could go and I knew what they could be, and they just weren't there. I'm not going to talk about the actors. I think in my initial review for season 1, my overall review, I talked a lot about the acting on the show. Everyone's phenomenal. I have very little to say. These are good actors. They're strong actors. They have such an amazing actor in Jonathan, and such an amazing actress in Simone. They could have done more with those people. That was wasted. I mentioned this in my teaser trailer. Jonathan Bailey is in real life a gay man. Simone is this beautiful, dark-skinned South Asian actress. And I just think I'm so excited about the representation, and I wanted more. I just wanted more. I feel like a lot of times when people of color on screen, we don't always get what we deserve, which is why I'm always very, very critical of our portrayal and stuff. And I've seen a lot of South Asian women talk about how important this is to them. So I don't want to trivialize that. I can't trivialize that. It's incredibly important. And I felt seen by Simone in particular, because they didn't have any dark-skinned Black women in the first season as leads. So when I saw Simone was cast, her being dark-skinned actually meant quite a lot to me. And it still means quite a lot to me. I think that's why I take it so personally, that the love story that I think that the two main characters got was not what they deserved. I think they deserved better. Before I end my rant and I give you guys kind of how I felt in the moment, my last really big jarring thing probably is the love triangle. I don't know what happened. I don't know why that happened. So, that being said, I just looked at my time and I'm already at like 20 minutes. This was supposed to be a 5-minute rant so I could let y'all see my reactions for the rest of the video. This is gonna be a long ass video, y'all. So, that being said, I'm gonna let past Miata take it away. I'm gonna let her explain her thoughts as the episodes go on. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging with me. And if I have enough time, I'm a little busy right now, but if I have enough time, I will try to go through and do episode by episode reactions, which is what last season I did reviews. This will be reactions. So I'll try to get to that, but that'll be in the next, I guess, coming up weeks. So for now, I'm going to leave you guys to see how Pass Miata did. And as always, remember to like, subscribe, thumbs up. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Hey, y'all. This is Past Miata. Coming to you at almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I was supposed to get up at 4:30 and my alarm did not go off. So a bitch is late with her getting started on her binging the show, but I'm here. Trepidation, sorry, I'm shaking a shake. Trepidations going into this first episode. I don't know if I've already ranted about this. I don't know if future Miata has already started ranting, but I am a little bit worried about overall, like, the sex, like how much sex there is going to be in this season. I've heard a lot of people talking about how they really toned down the sex in the season, and that is something that I'm going to be actually very disappointed about if that is true. If that really happens, I'm going to be very disappointed about that, but I don't think that's a concern for episode 1 because they're just meeting, so we're going to see. And if I'm really cranky in the future, if I am ranting about this season, it's because I'm on a juice fast and I'm just hungry. That's what I'm going to say about future Miata. Okay, girl, you hungry? Go eat something. Okay, guys, let's watch episode 1 and I will return after the episode to talk about my thoughts. Okay, I am still in episode 1, but the scene where Kate and Anthony meet, does that not remind anyone else of like Ever After? Ever After with Drew Barrymore is one of my favorite movies, and this heavily reminds me of when they when she meets the prince and like he's on his horse, she throws an apple up and he's like, tell no one I was here. This is giving Ever After vibes. I am not done with this episode, but this is the longest episode. This shit is so fucking long. Why is this episode an hour and 15 minutes? First thoughts on the first episode? Long. That bitch was long. I'm sorry, that was a long fucking episode. When I'm looking at the time, like, okay, like it's a bit long. It was too long. Secondly, for those of you guys that have not read the books, which I'm guessing is most of you, very different. oh my God, so different. This is so different, which is fine. There's never a problem with that. I'm glad they're doing what they want to do, but so much attention is being paid to the Bridgerton family and like not to the Sharma family. And like Kate is supposed to be a little difficult, so that's fine. That's fine. I wonder if they're going to be able to make her likable after all of this, because we need to like her. It's just the characters are so different. Edwina is different. There's so much of the Queen. There's so much of Lady Danbury. Like, I kind of wish they would just focus on the couples that are here. I get why they can't. It's a TV show, I guess. But so far, a distinct lack of, like, ooh, for me. We go see. I don't know, guys. How y'all feeling after that one? Let's see what we're going to get in episode 2. Oh, just real quick, like the diamond of the season thing, this makes no sense. Okay, I'm only 20 minutes into episode 2, but I just have to say, like, Kate being such a huge, like, open bitch is a bit much. She would be shunned by society if she was openly treating a member of the peerage this way. If one of you guys out there fences, like you guys fence, like sword fight, can y'all let me know how bad this fencing is? Because it looks horrendous. Colin's facial hair has to go. Now you can, my husband's here now. You're on camera, bitch! Real quickly, almost of the way through second episode, how did they make Benedict charming? Benedict is my least favorite Bridgerton. Like, my least favorite Bridgerton. And somehow I am rooting for him over Anthony at this point in the I don't know what's happening. What's happening? Immediate thoughts. We just finished episode 2. I don't even know. I have no idea. They are focusing so much on Penelope and Lady Whistledown and Eloise and like nothing, like a bunch of stuff with Edwina, and then like that really weird soiree, which what the fuck? Soiree, like, I know. My husband's right here, and he was like, Miata, the soiree is a fantasy. The men are entertaining the women, but this just would have happened in Regency times. Guys, why does my face look swollen? Why does my face, it looks like I was stung by a bee. Anthony going to a soiree and immediately being like, oh my God, like, I will never show you love, but I'll show you devotion in front of the entire, like, all the women of the ton during Regency. This would not, it just wouldn't have happened. But this is not, I don't know, it's not working for me so far. So, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Yay. My husband and I are discussing young Anthony, and like, you know how women, when they're supposed to be young in movies, they get a bang? And so Anthony's got like a little curly hair, he's got a bang. In order to be like, he's young. Look at him, he's got a, oh, so it's not a bang, it's a boing. He's got a boing. Okay. We just watched Edmund's death scene. This should not matter to me. But he was not with Anthony when he died. I believe he was with Eloise. And it makes a huge difference because Eloise is the one who saw her dad die. She's the one who was sobbing on the floor. I know this doesn't make a difference to y'all, but it makes a difference to all of their character arcs. Okay, just real quick. Sorry, I should not be doing reactions because I'm going to be doing a reaction video for episode 3, but so far what I'm noticing is Edwina is so less complex than she was. Edwina is supposed to be, yes, sweet and innocent, but also incredibly smart. She's incredibly book smart. And that's what makes her so different than other like young girls in books who just like boys. She's very intelligent. She wants a man who's intelligent. She wants a man who will be in love with her, but she really does value like intelligence, conversation, philosophy. She very much feels a lot of pressure to find the right man for her family. I just kind of miss there being a complexity to Edwina's character. Okay, we're at the Pall Mall part. About to play some Pall Mall. A. She got the mallet of death. And there's a little bit more, like, flirtation between the two of them. Like, a little bit more playful banter. That'll be a welcome from the hostility that we're getting instead. Real quickly, as a woman who also wears wigs, they need to be plucking these lace fronts better. Everyone's lace front is like thick. These hairlines are thick. Okay. We finally have Kate and Anthony alone playing Pall Mall, and it's finally a fun thing. Thank God we got rid of the rest of the family. Truly, how is Benedict the most charming person in this season?
Tell me, brother, she loved it there so much.
I hate Benedict. What's happening? Penelope and Madame de la Croix.
It is only so long before
Kinda love it.
someone.
Kinda love it. God,
Of course.
2 dark-skinned women have talked so far in this season. We are up, darkies. We are up. Okay. Kate B scene, very sexy, so different from the books. Very sexy, so different. I'm mixed. My emotions are all over the place. All over the place. Chris and I are discussing. My husband thinks that this change was fine because I just told him what happens in the books. In the books, when she gets stung by the bee, Anthony goes to like suck on the titty to get the poison out, and then they get caught by Lady Bridgerton, Lady Mary, and Lady Featherington. So in this, or just, I don't know if they're all ladies, but like they get caught by those 3. Right now and then they have to get married because they got caught basically with Anthony's face on her chest. Now I have no idea where the show's gonna go. So sorry, we're about to go into episode 4. They have drastically this is like, they have now thrown the books out. This is complete, like, I don't know where the show is gonna go, to be honest. We are now off course. We're not on the track anymore. We went to space, all right? We in a spaceship and we around Mars now, bitch. Like, what I will say is that scene was hella sexy. That is the first time I felt tingles in my thingles. All right, we have a tingles to our thingles. Check mark, friends. Okay, so heading into episode 4, got a little horny. Yay, horny meter. Let's see if that continues. Edwina wanting Anthony.
Realized what I need is your.
I'm sorry, Madame de la Croix should have a nice little lace front, and y'all got her in some synthetic ass looking yucky ass curly ass wig that I can buy off the street. Marina's gonna be back? What? Y'all told me she wasn't gonna come back. Ruby Barker, you didn't say shit. You didn't say you were in this season, bitch. I complained about this in the first season, but Philip Crane, who is Marina's current husband and is the, spoilers if you don't want to hear, the future husband of Eloise. Undo the spoiler now. Philip Crane is supposed to be like a 6'5" man with a huge dick. You know what I'm not getting? BDE. He likes to plow. He likes to plant. He likes to fertilize. If you get what I mean. He is showing her how to hold a gun. We are spending more time with Eloise than Edwina. To be honest, like, I'm actually a little bored. Like, I kind of want to take a break after this, and I don't want to feel like that. Last season, I am tired of a waltz not being 1, 2, 3. Why is this waltz? I can pop and lock. This waltz, okay. What the fuck is this music? So they used the Kate and Anthony storyline for the Featheringtons instead. So now she's gonna marry cousin Jack using the, getting caught storyline. I am sick and tired of them being interrupted every time I get horny. Does the show not care about me? They were just about to kiss and Daphne walks in, or they're just about to kiss and a deer comes in the room. What's next? Who's gonna interrupt them next? Why are they not letting Mary Sharma speak? Has she spoken in like 5 episodes? Oh, sorry, we're on episode 4. Has she spoken in 3 episodes? Why is Lady Danbury having talks with Kate and not Kate's mom? This Featherington stuff needs to be, they need to nip it in the bud. Let's be done. Let's just be rich and be done with them. Just finished episode 4, going on to episode 5. So thoughts on episode 4. Lots of more steamy moments between Kate and Anthony. We got some more looks. That's it. Couldn't even get a fucking kiss because Daphne had to come back. Your ass isn't even in book 2. And Edwina and Anthony are engaged. Y'all are like, Miata, you said that like there's all this steamy, smoldering, and sexy banter that happens in the second book, and oh my gosh, when is that gonna happen? Bitch, I don't know. No idea about anything. And I don't want people to think that the show can only succeed because Reggae is in the show. But they sure are making it look like that's the only reason the first season worked. By the way, at this point in the book, Kate and Anthony had already kissed. She had caught him with another woman, and she gets out from under his desk, and he kisses her, and then he's like, and I'm still getting with your sister. Ay! And they keep fighting. But by this time, they are already deeply sexually attracted to each other and have already at least made out. And the whole thing with the bee sting is where they get caught and then they get married. By this point in the book, we would have already had them married and had their first like wedding night. So that might be about to happen in episode 5. I could see them at this point kind of switching it around so we can finally get some Kate and Anthony babangin. But at this point, they've at least already made out and can barely keep their hands off of each other when they're around each other. So, okay, bye. Look, it's another scene with the Queen instead of a scene with the Sharma family where we could develop them. Did the actress who played Mary have COVID? Why won't they let this woman on set? Big shout out to the white person in my comment section who told me that me being mad about the lack of dark-skinned women last season was ridiculous because Lady Danbury is dark. In fact, they said that she's darker than me. Focusing on Eloise's romance that will go nowhere and not the romance of this season. Love it! Instead of spending time with Kate and Anthony, we're watching Philippa Featherington possibly start selling counterfeit rubies. Lady Sharma gets to speak. Yay! Still in episode 5, this Sheffield, like, subplot with them at the dinner table and secrets coming out is quite possibly the most unbelievable way that any of this would have happened. I can't. First off, I don't even care that this didn't happen in the books. I don't even care. Like, right, they're so far different from the books that I'm not even gonna compare it to that. I'm comparing it to like, this doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. I don't even know why they're fighting at the table. I don't know why Mary's mother, Lady Sheffield, would be having this conversation in front of a Viscount and his family. This is not good breeding, and these people are all about good breeding. Just saw some of Benedict's man buns. Y'all like a man bun? I mean his tush. We talking about like a bun, like his buns, like his hot buns, like his hot cross buns. Just finished episode 5. And yes, Kate and Anthony still haven't kissed. There was one kind of steamy moment between them. There's a few steamy moments of them longing for each other but not being able to have each other. By this point in the books, they were married and banging, and he was slowly falling in love with his wife, and instead we're just going to focus on this love triangle with her sister. The drama that they had at the dinner table didn't ring true for me. This is really tough. I'm actually bored. I'm actually quite bored. Like quite bored. Bored. And I'm just not quite feeling it. Like I don't want to keep watching, but I have another 3 episodes left. I just have so many people in the show with their own feelings and stories, which is amazing, but they are robbing the love story entirely. Like this doesn't even feel like it's about Anthony or Kate. This just feels like it's about the Bridgertons, which is fine if that's where we're going with the series, but that's not really what I signed up for. So I'm gonna try to finish this and keep going, but it's hard to power through and binge, I'm gonna say. Oh, is Lady Featherington gonna bang Cousin Jack? Just finished the wedding scene, which I wasn't sure how they were gonna pull off. Anyway, continuing. We have to talk about this. Where is Francesca? I'm fully about whatever's happening with Lady Featherington and Cousin Jack. I already said this, I think in the last episode, I was like, are they gonna bang? I don't know if they're gonna bang, and this is completely, it's such a random sidetrack from the story whatsoever. Like we've got a fake ruby mine in Georgia. I'm sorry, if Englishmen thought that this was real, they deserved to get their whole money snatched. But I am fully about, is it Polly Walker? Polly Walker getting her rocks knocked by cousin Jack. Okay, wearing a boa? I am. It was on my couch from an audition that I did. So I am wearing the boa now. Just finished episode 6. They kissed for the first time. And I wasn't paying attention because I was reading people's reactions to the season of Bridgerton on Twitter. But that entire episode was about Edwina. That entire episode was about Edwina. I have no... I'm frustrated, I guess, to say the least, because I don't know. I'm having a really hard time with the lack of Kate and Anthony, I guess, just in general. I'm so unable to fully articulate myself, I guess. I'm having a hard time with like the focus on Edwina or the focus on the Queen. The focus on the Featherington stuff. I'm actually really upset right now about the Edwina and Kate's relationship. I can't understand how you can take a relationship which I keep saying in the book, but is one of the strongest sister-sister, female-female relationships, I think, over the course of the series, right? Like, they love each other. They're so deeply connected. And at no point would Edwina ever have thrown half-sister back in Kate's face like that. Ever. She didn't even see her that way. That is her big sister. And Mary is Kate's mom. She calls her Mary, but she is just like, you're my mama. Like, I don't consider you step anything. You're my mom, bar none. And I just think they're doing a disservice to the character. So we're about to go into episode 7. And right now, I'm just kind of waiting for the season to be over. Because I just want to see when we can finally get Kate and Anthony together. That's what I care about. And apparently that's going to happen like, the last episode maybe? And if that's the truth, if I'm not going to get Kate and Anthony until the last episode, fuck this whole season. I just think at the start, as we're watching episode 7 and so many people are hurt right now, it is crazy to know that it is Penelope writing these words, right? Like, Penelope, who is friends with the Bridgertons, Penelope, who knows what the Sharma situation is, for her to write like, oh, the scandal, like the tone's going to be talking about your scandal. It's best for us to not know that it's Penelope being this mean, right? Like, because we want to like Penelope, and I do. When Penelope's on screen, I love her. And then you hear the words she's writing in Lady Whistledown, and it's a reminder that Penelope is a petty-ass bitch. So, dark-skinned black women, we got to speak again! Hey! Okay, so we're in episode 7, and Colin has taken an interest in the mines that are in Georgia. I just really want to say, it's funny because a lot of you guys loved Colin and Penelope in the first season, and y'all trashed Marina. Marina was tricking Colin, blah, blah, blah. I think we've just learned Colin's stupid. Okay? Colin's just a fucking idiot, okay? So y'all need to apologize to Marina. First the fuck off, because Colin just may be a big dum-dum. Okay, just finished episode 7. I am so happy and I am so mad because, okay, so you guys, you watched episode 7, right? So you saw the very last, 15 minutes of the show. So you saw the insane chemistry between Kate and Anthony, right? And you saw that sex scene, and then you saw all of the drama and the angst and the buildup. That scene is what book readers had from the beginning of the book to the end. Like, I'm not kidding. That level of the and they want each other, what we just saw, that happens every other chapter. Moment right there, that fucking moment, that's why so many book readers are disappointed, because that moment, that angst and shit, you feel constantly. And as a person who loves the enemies to lovers trope, that specifically is the feeling that you get throughout an enemies to lovers anything, you know what I mean? I feel so relieved, because they built up that tension over 7 episodes. I get it. I feel just, but I wish you guys could understand that if we had been able to see Kate and Anthony get married in, say, episode 5, we would be able to watch them circle around their love for each other until they're finally connected. There's still more to mine in this relationship, and we're not quite getting that. Something I hyped up that they're not doing at all is the trauma that Kate and Anthony have. They're just not touching on it. The show, because we have shit with the Featheringtons and the Queen and Eloise and all of that shit, we don't have any time for more character development for the two leads, unfortunately. So that's just something else that's missing a little bit. But yeah, going into episode 8, which is titled The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is what the whole season should have been. I do like the fact that Anthony is shying away from Kate after her like near-death experience. The fact that like he doesn't want to go see her. He doesn't want that kind of hurt. And he thinking it's his fault. And the last time he was with his dad passed away. I actually really do like that. Quite a bit. I like that they tied that in. So I like getting to see, more tortured Anthony is a good Anthony. So I like that. I like that change.
Okay. So now, sorry, my husband and I are cuddling. We're in episode 8. And I do like the moment with Anthony and Gregory. It's very sweet and very cute. And I like getting to see Anthony kind of take on that fatherly role because that is something that he did a lot in the book. So that's very, very sweet and cute. So I'm just going to say that.
The Featherington drama continues. No one asked for it. Just watched Eloise's and Penelope's fight. Truly don't know how they're going to redeem Penelope. This is a tough redemption story. Like, it was already tough for me in season 1. I was one of the people that I was like, I do not like Penelope in this. I do not like Penelope in this. I think she did Marina really shitty. And a bunch of people were like, no, it's fine because Marina's a whore. And now that she's, done this to Eloise, maybe more people will be like, oh, true. How are they going to make her a more likable character? Because, like, what Penelope's done is truly, like, shitty. Anthony told Kate he loves her so. Okay, I just finished episode 8. If you guys can imagine, I've been watching the show. I've been watching for like almost 11 hours. I know the show's only like 9.5 to 10 hours long, so I had to take a few breaks in there, but I'm done. And so I guess I don't want to button this up right now because I'm going to do final thoughts after all of this with some makeup on and some different clothes on. So stay tuned for final thoughts. All I can say is I did love that little epilogue at the end. And if you love the epilogue too, that could have been the whole season, and I'm never going to stop saying that.